Welcome back from the break. If you are just tuning in, you are on KTN Home, and this is Man Talk, a show that we do here that's always so fantastic because I learn so much from the men that I host every single time. Now, today we're having a conversation to do with men and social media, specifically simping. What is a simp? What is simping? And is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? Where is it coming from? I'm joined by Apiyo, Sakwa, and Simon from Simon Says. And just before the break, we had the bombshell that Apiyo dropped, which was DMing is not a career. Please, I beg, okay? And we are trying to look at how far is it? How far can you go? And not blocking people who can start relationships or form friendships online. We're not saying you shouldn't DM. We're not saying that you shouldn't comment on somebody. We're saying, when have you taken it too far? When are you putting yourself in a position that maybe is a little pathetic? And you actually mentioned something over the break, and I wanted you to take it from there, is some people meet in the comment section.
Yes, actually, it's crazy. But anyways, the bubble with social media is that you're there to interact. That's why it's called social media.
Yeah.
Socializing. So whatever comes out of it and how you do and how you go about with it, it's up to you. Whether you want to make use of it. If you meet a monster online and you've heard of situations of people. Personally, I've had friends who have met on Tinder, like couples.
Yes.
They're now couples and they met
Fully,
online.
yeah.
So I think with social media, anything that you can take out of it, if it can give you something, if it's a yes, take. If it's a no, then use it. Good for you. But however much you can do with it, it's up to you. And when it comes to actually going too far with DMing people on social media, I think if you lower yourself to that point, you show signs of desperation and invalidation.
Yeah.
And excessively like being obsessed with someone. First of all, if it's a celebrity, for example, if it's you, Suzanne, maybe you would never even check your comment section. You don't even care about the comments.
I do.
Or maybe you care about the comments. Or maybe sometimes you care on the DMs.
Yeah, yeah. But there's sometimes you don't check. You can be on leave. Yeah. Like some of us, when you're on leave, you switch off work. So switching off work means, not being on social media, not being on your DMs, not being. So there's a lot of things that can pass me by. Sikwa ubaya, but I just didn't see it.
But if it's a reaction, social media has the love button. If it's a thumbs up,
yes,
it does not mean much, a lot. But if it matters to you, the love you get, the comments you get, then good for you.
But maybe Susan, what I would want to also say about simping, what majority of men probably would not understand in this world is that women usually don't care much about people who simp on them. They don't care too much.
I'm sorry to confirm, but it is true.
Women usually don't care, so long as they have realized this is what you do the whole day, or not even the whole day, every time you see them, or they have a picture there or a snap there, you're trying to actually caught their attention frequently. That is the moment you become useless in their lives. So guys that me want to say, you don't follow a woman like that.
Yeah.
Do your own things. Do your own things. Because the moment you start simping, the moment you're sinking low.
True. And the exact opposite of simping is what? The F-boys. Those
right.
boys, those are the exact opposite. And those are the kind of guys that break women. Those are the kind of guys that get a lot of attention from them because literally they're disregarded.
And usually, actually, you'll find it'll be women who you attract the dysfunction you have. So I will end up with that kind of gentleman because there's an attention that maybe I never got from my dad, or there is an attention that I'm seeking as a lady that I believe this guy that brushes me off or ignores me or will give me a lot of attention one day, then ignores me for 2 weeks. It's like it's sweet, but usually you're attracting a dysfunction you have as a lady. When you sort out that dysfunction, you stop being attracted to those guys. You switch off completely. Yeah.
But there's also something like, even where did this actual simping kind of like culture?
That's what I wanted to ask about the responsibility that men play among this in the let me put men in a bowl. All the men in the world are in one bowl. And there's the ones who are simping and there's the ones who aren't, right? So what responsibility do men have on those simpers? Is there something that these younger men, because it is mostly younger men, but you have said it's not an age thing. Older men are doing it now. Everyone who's on social media is doing it. Absolutely. So what has made women on social media be put on this pedestal? And the thing that men are looking for, it's not true love. That's not the advertisement. you're hoping to get this lady in the bedroom. You're hoping, you know, to get a little you're hoping to get some physical action, let me call it that, from this lady. It's not like, oh my God, true love, right?
No.
So what responsibility do men bear in this? Have you guys been too tough on each other so guys can't talk to each other, that's why they're in women's DMs? Or is it that our fathers didn't tell us this is how you court a lady? Don't do too much, don't do, but you know, this is what it means when she's playing hard to get. This is how you can go the extra mile. Is it that we weren't taken through that by our dads and our uncles?
Actually, it's like you're supposed to treat her like a princess.
Right.
That whole gentleman culture, like, do all that. You see now, like, do all this for her, like, buy her the roses, buy her the chocolate. You see all these little gestures.
Right.
Like you said, it's not love.
Yeah.
All these little gestures.
The Prince Charming
yes,
gestures.
all that was glorified as to how you're supposed to treat a woman.
Okay.
And literally, this was portrayed a lot, even with a lot of the ladies. I would actually even blame the ladies for this, because this was pushed by a lot of ladies, like saying, you're supposed to treat me like a lady, yum, show me all these things and everything. And when a guy does that, what happens is he's actually going, I think what happens is the guy scales it up and goes a little bit overboard. And it also comes from this. Men, a lot of the times, our value when it comes to ladies is security, be it financial, be it emotional, so much, is being portrayed as the man's value is a lot of finances, okay? So when a man literally dishes a lot of money to women, it actually is simping, and they'll dish a lot of money, and the lady has not even done anything. You don't even know her at all. You don't even, and that happens a lot on social media platforms. Open that access. When you do that, you're trying to show that I am actually this. My pocket is this. Trying to show security, trying to come up front, thinking that this will now get you what you actually want, which is
so
just
what you're saying is, if social media was to disappear today, or even before social media, simping was still there. It was just done in a different style.
Now
social media has just created a new network in which you can do it.
making it easier.
It has escalated it, actually.
Yeah.
Make it easier. You can now DM so-and-so who's in Australia. She's the fine little girl, maybe a socialite in Australia. Send her some little money. It's like, okay, cool. So this guy can use this for some money. He maybe just wants a little picture and whatever. That's it. Literally, that has become like this quick instant gratification, seeking that quick instant gratification in the most. And some guys even now take it to another whole level. Like, I want to do so much niceness, hoping to get this, and that's the worst kind of sin.
But Susan, maybe to add something, whatever he's saying, you know, if you look at the modern world, the millennials, the people that are actually, we are dealing with, or the children that we have, or the generation that we have today, a lot have changed. If you look at the people that are coming up today, they would have got no guidelines. Because us, when we used to grow, some things never used to be this clear or this open. Nowadays, you can meet a 13-year-old boy directly simping on a lady. That never used to happen. So I think it boils down as well to how society has grown and how the environment is coming nowadays. Because if you look at, for example, talk about what is happening in social media today.
Yeah.
If probably we could have regulations that maybe a child that is not even 14 or 15 should not even have access to social media and accounts and what. Some of these things can be avoided. But you know now, today, at 8 years, my younger sister wants to be like Rihanna.
Yeah.
Wants to be like Susan.
True.
Over there. And do you know what usually happens? Such shows comes in. And they are adopted like that. So it boils down to how our society has come over. But me, what I would suggest, if probably simping or something that, because there is no one who pays you for being a simp or for simping. There is no payment for this. There's no payment for this. If at all you are a man and you feel like there is a need for you to have probably a partner and you want to use social media platforms and all sorts, maybe look for maybe a guarantor then, because nowadays, from how things are and how things stand, you risk more than you know by just simping and having a lady probably through social media or having a man through social media than any other thing. And actually, for me, speaking on my behalf, I think I've got 4 relationships since I was born. And the worst scenario of all those 4 relationships was actually a lady I got through social media.
Met on social
That was
media.
the worst.
That's why you're so much against it.
Me, I'm actually a victim of negative simping.
Yes.
Actually, I should be made an ambassador.
You should,
I should be
yeah.
made an ambassador.
Can I ask a little bit about that? Can I ask a little bit about that relationship in particular?
Yeah, you can.
Because you met
can.
on social media. Who made the first move? Who was the one who DM'd the other first?
It was not a matter of DM. It is actually the lady that started by liking all my photos, all my pictures. I can't have peace in the
That
morning.
is a very
I
popular
can't have peace in the
one.
morning.
That is a very popular one. Okay,
me,
so it
I
started
rushed
like
there.
that.
It just started like that.
Okay.
I rushed to Howell, checked the photos, very pretty lady.
Yeah.
And I was
Hello.
like, "Hi, hello,
So you
how
were
are
like,
today?"
oh, cool. Yeah, she's liked what she's seen.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I might
yeah.
as well say
And
hello.
all them were all love reactions. She. Over 20 photos, love reactions. And I
So
said,
what's going on?
maybe she has got some interest.
Yes.
Maybe I should be courageous.
Say hi.
Let me throw the what?
Yes.
Let me throw my efforts.
Right.
So I threw, and all of a sudden we were in a relationship.
Okay.
Actually, she knew my ex in the first place, so she came in.
Hey.
Okay.
So I think that was one of the worst things. That's why I would not actually champion or advocate for simping. If you're simping,
How
you're
long
doing
was
yourself to
the
blame.
relationship? What length?
It took around 1.5 years.
Okay.
For the
For you to
first
come
for
to
the
the
for the first 6-7 months,
Yeah.
we lived as if we were in heaven.
It was amazing.
Fantastic.
The best relationship in the world.
I thought probably that is how I would end up marrying. Or that's
Yeah,
how I
because
would
you're
get
like,
married.
this is, I've never felt like
I
this.
never felt like this. This lady is so nice. This lady is so what.
Uh-huh.
Then I came to realize other things after all sort of nonsense that was happening. So me, I think appearance deceive, and if you are into simping business, then you are digging your own
Grave.
grave. Susan.
Do you know something? First of all, thank you for saying she liked all your pictures first.
Yeah, it all started like that.
All of us were like, eh, even shout out to all our cameramen, producer, kila mtu alikuwa, eh, ndio, that is how it
That is a
starts.
common.
It is the first step by step.
Oh,
Now,
goodness.
when the relationship ended, do you mind sharing with us what was the reason for the breakup? What was the reason for the final?
The reason was, of course, infidelity, and it was absurd infidelity, right? Somebody is actually painting it in your face.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow, that's so
yeah,
negative and so toxic.
Yeah, so toxic. It's painting it in
Yeah.
your face. There is somebody there. Oh, today is Friday. You can't actually talk to me up to Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and you ask yourself, now what has changed? There's no answer for that. And for the past 6-7 months, everything was roses.
Right.
So in that case, out of all my 4 relationships, I think that was the worst
The
ever.
worst.
And it was through social media, and it was through this very, very simping. Guys, it is crazy. It is.
Oh my gosh.
my
Wow. On that note. No, thank you for sharing that because there is the perspective that we haven't talked about yet, and thank you for introducing it, when women are the ones simping. Because something that I found very interesting, and as a woman, I also identify as a feminist, men don't know how to even identify sexual harassment when it is done to them.
Okay.
I don't.
Right?
Yeah.
So there is, I can block somebody on social media because they've been berating my photos with so many comments, they're berating my DMs with so much, they're following my friends, they're DMing my friends now also, like it's gone overboard. And so I will block, maybe I'll even go on social media and talk about it. When that happens to men, they don't know
How can a man be
how to
sexually-
deal with it. Yeah, because a man, how can a man be sexually harassed? But you can be. You can be sexually harassed
Tell
in the
me
same
more.
way that I can. If I'm using inappropriate language with you and we work in the same setting, or, which is usually the most obvious to me, is if you make it clear you're uncomfortable with what I'm doing. So the first time I might hit on you, or the first time I might compliment you or use an appropriate thing or something, then you make it clear that that's uncomfortable for you or comfortable for the person you're in a relationship with, and I continue, that is sexual harassment.
Now.
You see? So in that instance, you, and you guys can explain this to me, how hard is it for you guys as men to go to HR?
Now.
And say, kuna huyu mtu kwa department yangu, you know, or there's this boss, you know, who's a lady who's going overboard. Let's be honest, it's unfair because it is something as women we can very clearly always report.
Now
But it happens to men as well, and it's very difficult.
You mean well, and we see you mean well.
Yeah.
Now let's bring it down to practicality.
Right.
Okay? As a man, if a woman actually, that's what even I say, 80% when a woman hits on a guy, she gets what she wants. Women have a higher, what you call it, return policy because we're seen as
a higher success rate.
Us, we have to we have to DM over 50 people in order to get like, oh, okay, cool. Hey, one is interested. Good. Then now narrow down and actually execute.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. There is, as a man, you're viewed in better light when you have more sexual encounters with many people.
Right.
So, if a lady is actually now doing that, it's not seen as violation of you. That would take a long, unless now it was a pure, like now clearly pinned down, chained and all that, unless you're not into that kind of thing. It has to be an extreme level for someone to take it seriously.
Right.
That's what you call double standards in life. Life is immoral in nature. Life is not ideological.
Yeah.
Life does not live by your ideals.
Because men and women are different, and that's just the fact.
We're gonna be judged by different things. That is
plain
a fact.
and simple.
So trying to put like I see you mean well, but my dear, no, that's not gonna happen in real life.
I'll focus on women's rights.
No. You mean well, but no. As a man, literally you're told, watch out, stop. As a guy, if you don't even want a girl to leave, she's in your house. And she's screaming, you just bring another girl there and then you just collide and you'll be okay.
But you as a man, you can't, no matter how much you ask her.
No need to kick her out by force, just bring your friend. You know, like a friend who come over there and say, I got you. That's literally something that's executable. You do it and she won't even hate you.
I'm so sad, but I've learned something. I have younger brothers, so I know if any of them are ever in a funny position and they call me for help, I'll be like, wait,
yes, very fast.
So there is a story I wanted to tell you guys, and we'll continue talking, which was, it's on public news everywhere. There is a lady, she's called Shakila. She's big on social. She's a video vixen as well. She was on a reality show, so that's how people know her. So Shakila DM'd a gentleman called Rotimi. I believe he's based in the States, if I'm not wrong. And he's currently dating Vanessa Mdee, who's a Tanzanian musician.
Love that girl.
I love her music. Love her too.
No, I love her. You see there's a difference.
I don't know.
Oh, you love... I've never met her. I've never met her. I want to meet her and interview her. Vanessa, find me. But
I don't know why she left Jukes. I don't know why.
Sorry for another day. So this should be a trending topics show, clearly. But so what happened was Shakila DM'd Rotimi and took a screenshot when she realized that, so this is what Instagram inboxes look like at the moment if you have a very big account. If you have a public figure account and you've changed it into a business account. There is the primary inbox, so that is for the people that you follow and they follow you back. So you have conversations in your primary inbox. Then there's the general inbox. The general inbox is somebody that follows you, that you don't follow back, but that's where all their messages will come. And you haven't blocked them, you haven't restricted them. And then there is the requests.
Message request.
Exactly. Now that's somebody who you don't have any social media connection. None follows the other. And if you've restricted or blocked somebody, that is where their content will go to. So most of the time when you send a message, you can tell. So what she did is, because she's a social media guru, she could tell that her message was seen by Rotimi because it wrote there seen. So it means that her message went to general. It went to the middle. Not primary because they're not associated. Not requests. It went to general, which means that it is likely that he follows her account or knows her or whatever and opened the message to read what she said because he knows. So this is my problem with the situation, and you guys can tell me. For me, it was the sharing. She took a screenshot and went on her story to say, you know, at least me, I'm in the general of the inbox. At least Timmy knows who I am. You know, at least he read the message. And the message was bigging him up, complimenting him, you know, saying all these lovey-dovey things to him, as if we don't all know that Rotimi is in a very happy relationship. But what do you guys think about that? Because now that's the women simping, and it's going to the point of, let me even prove the point. Let me put it on my story, and let me show everyone he read my message. So that now puts me where?
When it comes to like that DM, what she did, she was seeking other people to get more attention and talk about it so that he can actually notice it. I'm sure in that story she tagged him. That's a tactic. That's a very smart tactic. For me, I've seen that tactic. That's a tactic. You screen grab, you want someone's attention, you go to your story, you add them in their story because that acting the story also comes in as a notification in your...
To them.
Exactly.
And even if they don't see it, they're fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Might.
Then of course there'll be a lot of interaction in that story. That's primarily what it is. It's just a tactic just to get attention. That's a person who's seeking attention. Because nowadays, attention is treated as currency.
How would you react to somebody, you know, coming in the comments, somebody coming in the DM? What would you categorize from a woman as this woman is simping and wait, this woman is genuine and actually wants to get to know me? How do you differentiate between the two?
I think it's difficult to determine that because nobody has a superpower to actually see through anything. But since it's a DM, like everybody else gets DMs, and you know, you can if it's a conversation, if the woman has DM'd you about, you know, your looks, because probably you can't just keep on saying hi, we better meet and, you know, say hi to me. But if you want to, like, maybe get someone's attention, if they're in a certain space that you like, or maybe they're on TV like you are, if you DM them and tell them, hi Suzanne, I think I would love to come to your show, but just saying hi and then you keep quiet, it makes no sense at all. At least back up with something. Hi Suzanne, I like you because I see you on TV and I think you're doing good. At least it's sensible.
Right.
Other than just like saying hi.
Susan,
it ends up becoming a song.
Susan, I believe we are all Kenyans and we must behave like Kenyans.
Yeah.
If somebody DMs me, the first thing I run to their profile first.
Let's be honest, this is true.
We want to be very practical, yeah?
Yeah, this is practical.
I run to their wall to know their profile.
Yes.
What are they doing? How are they looking like? Are they worth me? What would they say with me? Why should I meet them? So after doing my thorough evaluation through all sorts of what is happening in your profile, what you follow, what you do, what usually happens with your life, then I'll make a decision. I believe in one thing, give everyone a chance. You want to meet me? Let's meet. When? Where?
Yeah.
This and this.
Post
on me or you or we share.
It's straight up.
It's all straight like that.
Yeah.
Like that. So that when I meet you now, at least you know me. But I cannot just respond to every inbox. Yes, I'll see, I'll read, take, seen. I go to your profile first. Who the heck is inboxing me? What is this story? Is he or is she willing to share with me? But you know, if you are there, I just want to respond to every DM. You'll be even be DM'd by a mad person.
Yeah.
Or with somebody who is just happy, excited, is a year old or a day old in Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you going to respond to such a person?
No. Or even worse, you could be DMing a Russian bot. It's not even a person.
Yeah,
it's a fake
or,
account.
or probably a fake DCI or somebody who is actually spying on you.
True.
You never know.
Now, let me give the other side of the story.
Yeah.
Where it's actually good. For example, I'm in a relationship because she DM'd me first.
Amazing.
Now, her DM was amazing. Her DM was, hi Simon, I really love your content and what you're doing is amazing. I just wanted to appreciate what you do.
Oh man, she was
Thank
giving
you.
you your flowers.
That was it.
Oh,
right.
I love
that
it.
was literally the first DM. I've screenshotted that and I've saved it for way when the kids will see it. Now listen. Now
I like
listen.
it.
Now that is actually a very good way to actually start a conversation. Now, not to mention, maybe I responded, I think, around 3 or 4 months later, but I still responded, and then that led to something on. But now, that's actually a way you have to actually give a comment or even a DM that's actually of value. Because if you just spit out something that's just hi, you know those highs, even me, but please do not text me any highs. I will ignore them, even I give lectures. Why are you just telling me hi? Don't you have any more content? Like what
There's
is
somebody
going on?
who DM'd
like,
me.
I literally hey, just get to that. Get to the point of the conversation.
There's somebody that DM'd me and they were actually trying to do work and they just started with hi. But eventually, like you, I checked the profile and they were a very, very talented photographer. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually trying to plan a photo shoot, so I would be down. So I responded back, hello, how can I help you? I always respond like that because I'm always like trying to show you that you just said hi and I don't really have much with that.
Let's get to it.
So I was like, hello, how can I help you? And he then proceeded to mention that, yes, he's a photographer and everything, but he called me darling. And I thought that was weird. I thought that was so strange. I was like, we do not know each other like this. Why would you use that kind of language? And I felt like he was undermining me prior to us working together. If I'm like a darling, if I'm like a sweetie, then, you know, I can't be a difficult client, or I can't be too demanding, or I can't, you know, negotiate on price, or I can't, you know, and I just was like, but it's been an incredible episode on simping, but unfortunately we have to close
and simp our way out.
Simp our way out. But before we go, I want you guys to share your social media handles and tell the audience what you do and where they can find you. And I think we're gonna have to do another episode on simping because we need to work out the technicalities. Hapo venye Apiyo anasema unaenda unaangalia profile alafu sasa muna meet. Na kwanza hata hiyo ya budget bill muna agree. Mapema na mapema. Is it you? Is it me? Or is it half?
50.
I love it. But yeah, you can share your social media handles and what you do Apiyo, we can start with you.
Okay. For Twitter, It's Apiyo Opiyo at Apiyo Opiyo. For Instagram, it is Felix Apiyo, and for Facebook, it is Apiyo JF Apiyo.
Okay then.
Amazing.
Well, how y'all doing, guys? My name is Simon Says, and I indeed, on all social media platforms, you can find me as Simon Says Maingi, and I actually help people who do business or even who have the personal brand, help them actually get real business and actually make that content on social media. I'm that guy. Yes. You didn't know? Yes. So that's me right there. That's how I can actually help you. That's what you need to actually search for me.
Nice.
And hi, many thanks again for enjoying the show and being with us till the end. You can find me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube is at Uncle Sakwa. My YouTube channel is at Brian Sakwa Podcast. And professionally, I'm a mental health advocate or conversationalist. I help young men and women to actually tap into their healing process and discover their self-discovery and the healing recovery process and be in touch with who they are and what they and how they should live their lives without the fear of being looked at differently or judged by society. So check me out.
Getting rid of
That's my profession or my career.
Yes.
I'm a pharmacologist by profession. I deal with the medications. So if you have a health problem, psychological, physical, or medical, you can contact me.
I like it.
Thank you.
He's the plug.
He's getting rid of physical. He'll sort out your physical ailments. I have a full panel. Apiyo will sort out your physical ailments. Simon will sort out your social media problems. And Sakwa will help you get rid of generational curses. Please. Move forward. Yes. It's been an incredible episode. Thank you so much for watching. And just because the episode is over doesn't mean that the conversation has to stop. You have all their social media handles, so do talk to them, ask some questions. Let's be polite, let's be dignified. And use the hashtag ManTalk and the hashtag KTN Life and Style so I can see all your posts and all your tweets everywhere. You can find me at Sura_common or at KTN Home, where KTN Home everywhere online. And that has been it for today. I will see you next week, guys. It's been such a fun episode. You'll find us here, same place.